We've been following the story of a family fighting to make tissue donation more inclusive in this country. Liam D. had just graduated nursing school. He got married. He was looking forward to his future. 9 days after he got married, though, he learned he had an aggressive and rare form of cancer. A few months later, he died. Liam had been a registered organ donor for years. However, after his death, his family learned his tissue was rejected because he was gay. Joining me this morning for an update is Liam's husband, Jacob McDonald, and Liam's mom, Cindy Gatesty. Good morning to both of you.
Good morning.
Good morning.
So, Cindy, the last time we spoke with you on the show, you had just filed a complaint with the Human Rights Commission. What kind of progress has there been?
Well, so it is before the commission right now. So it's in the process of the commission. They're going to let the respondents know, and then the respondents have 60 days to come back to us with their response. From there, it's just sort of a back and forth. It's kind of a waiting game. But we are hopeful that it will go through to the tribunal. Mm-hmm. The tribunal will, they're kind of a separate entity, and they would act sort of like as a court. So they would decide, they would make a decision there, rather than going back and forth between the complainants and the respondents.
It's so nice to see these beautiful pictures of your son and of your husband, Jacob. Jacob, what kind of progress has been made on the guidelines regarding organ and tissue donation in Canada?
We just found out recently that Nova Scotia applied for a new variance. It's a 1-year deferral instead of the 5-year deferral period, which they had before. And this kind of came as a surprise to us because they hadn't told us that they were going to be changing the deferral period or even applying for this variance. And, kind of the story that we had been getting was that this is a federal issue, and then all of a sudden we find out about this 1-year variance, which to me almost feels like, I don't know, I'm sure it helps some people, but it wouldn't have changed Liam's situation. And I worry about them setting a new precedent with it.
Do you mind, Jacob, do you mind explaining that a little bit in terms of what you mean by deferral? So
Liam was deferred after they found out that he had a husband. They said on the documentation that patient was deferred, sex high risk of sexual activity with another man within the past 5 years. And so he was completely written off at that point, despite the fact that we'd been in a monogamous relationship for over 4 years at that point. We were married, and I find that highly offensive to, perpetuate this idea that we were in an unhealthy relationship just because we were gay. So I worry about this new 1-year variance application because in the UK, as of September 18th, they've changed their regulations, and this applies to their deferral period. Doesn't exist. Well, I shouldn't say it doesn't exist. There's no. So what it is it occurs with anal sex with a new partner or with 2+ partners within the past 3 months. And so what it instead does is the deferral is based on sexual behavior and not on just someone's sexual orientation. And so that to me is what I think Canada should be focusing on rather than just writing off an entire sexual orientation of people.
Cindy, what's next?
Well, we're just waiting is basically where we are right now. The deferral period change here in Nova Scotia, like Jacob said, really wouldn't have made any difference. They applied for the variance through the American associations that they are accredited through. And because they were American associations, they were following a 5-year deferral, whereas Health Canada has the 1-year deferral. So it wouldn't have made any difference for Liam It doesn't make any difference right now for any other gay person who wanted to donate tissues or organs. What it does do is open the doors for when change comes here in Canada through Health Canada, changing if they were to adopt, say, the same deferral as the UK, then it would just make it easier for provinces to change their deferral periods. Once things change federally, it makes it easier for things to change provincially. So we're just really in sort of like a waiting phase. But if our complaint goes to the tribunal, which we are hopeful that it will, that would make a difference, hopefully sooner.
Well, Cindy and Jacob, we appreciate the update. Please stay in touch. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hey, thanks for watching. If you liked this, be sure to subscribe here, or you can check out more Your Morning videos right here.